timing how much everyone else spoke, because I'm definitely going to talk like for twice as long and probably cry in the middle. This is my show. It's called Vie En Rose, and I wrote in the program, but it started off as, this is so pretentious, my love letter to Paris. But somewhere through the rehearsal process, it turned into a love letter to the four amazing women in my cast. When I first cast the show, I got a lot of flack because the four girls who are in it are people who I've been in shows with before. I've got the varsity cast, it's no big deal. But they're really just like, I could not imagine a better cast, and I could not imagine a better people to spend my last STA show with. And so this kind of became a love letter to theater kids. I hate you so much, and I love you. And I'm wearing my Converse for you tonight. So I hope you enjoy my show. I'm not going to say a lot about it because I hope it like explains itself, which is what I told my cast when I wouldn't explain it to them. Thank you.
An introduction to the characters, then the story. That is usually how these things begin, no? The first thing that you need to know is that these paintings have names, just as you or I do, and not names like a Sunday afternoon on the island of Le Grand Jatte or American Gothic. They have names like Jonathan or Susan. For example, a very famous one you people seem to enjoy quite a bit, I believe you call her the Mona Lisa? Her name is Bernadette. You might think that it's silly, that these paintings have names that have nothing to do with anything about them. But then again, what does your name have to do with you? So, moving on, our characters. This is Clementine. Clementine's painted in 1886 by a surrealist intellectual who later died in a drunken stupor at the very same bar Ernest Hemingway wrote the ending of For Whom the Bell Tolls years later. She's best described in feelings, I think. She is like Paris at sunrise. She is the colors pink and yellow. She is the first sip of champagne you ever had. She is an orchard in full bloom. She is summer rain. She is the first girl you ever loved. Agnes, as you can see, is a little more contemporary than her companions here. Oil on canvas, painted by a sad young woman in love with someone who didn't love her back, probably Russian. Watch the way she scans you up and down like she's looking at something slightly unpleasant and wildly uninteresting. If she were not herself, if she were a woman who could leave her 4x3 universe, she'd be that girl at that indie fair trade coffee shop you go to impress alternative girls. That girl who lets you buy her a coffee, but then takes it to go and leaves without giving you her name. But if you pay close attention, you might pick up on the rare, small comment that borders on something resembling kindness. These comments are never explained, never elaborated on, and there's a quiet expectation that you will not ask further. And here we have Therese, who, well, we're not exactly sure where Therese comes from. Italy? Spain? We know she's old. We know she cost a fortune. We know she's odd, a little off. The more literary of you might recognize her likeness. And that's all we really know about her. She's kind enough, but honestly, pay no mind to about half the things she says. You and I will both sleep better at night. Now, let's begin.
Again, Therese, honey, could you maybe be a tad bit quieter? Where am I? I'm in hell. You're fine. You've just been bumped. I know that I've died twice before. Once in November, once in June.
What?
How strange to choose June again.
All right, well, this place is uppity, isn't it?
I think it's charming. Kind of romantic, don't you think?
You think everything's romantic.
It's an awfully lovely way to live, don't you think? In love with everything, but then everything breaks your heart.
Does anyone see anything around here that could give us a clue as to where we are?
The walls are pink.
There's a wallet on the table.
All right, let's see. Gift card to a bookstore, stick of gum, $15 cash, and lots of change. A Blockbuster gift card. Is it 2003? Whole Foods reward card, Social Security, trash, and bingo, license.
Her name is Frances LePonk. She's 29.
In an apartment like this? Jesus.
Her license expires next spring.
Important things, Clementine.
She's in Oregon?
Give me that. Frances LePonk, 29 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, resides at 32 Place de la Madeleine.
Oh, I absolutely adore Paris!
Latin Quarter.
Paris is unlike any other
Did you
city
find
in the
something
world. The champagne on top of the Eiffel Tower, a picnic in Champs de Mars, the palace views at the Jardin Luxembourg. Being in Shakespeare and Company is like living in a book. Living in the old frayed pages of the very books James Joyce or F. Scott Fitzgerald read and touched and loved. Paris exists to remind you that your dreams are real. Respirez Paris. C'est là conserver la âme. To breathe, Paris preserves the soul.
Moving on. An expired gift card. And another. Nice. Couple of movie tickets. All art house films. Good Lord. A crumpled photo of her and someone. Maybe boyfriend. 3 different coffee house punch cards and a receipt for a vintage Polaroid.
Another free spirit.
Your phone has a camera. Use it.
Clementine, check out those books over there. Please let them be shallow and superficial.
Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury. Hard Times, Charles Dickens. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Maya Angelou. 1984, George Orwell. Of Mice and Men, John Steinbeck. The Call of the Wild, Jack London. The Old Man and the Sea, Ernest Hemingway. The Sun Also Rises, Ernest Hemingway. Faulkner. Joyce, Plath. Shakespeare, Tolstoy, Wilde.
It's hopeless.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Those books are soul food for the most pretentious people on the planet.
I like those books. I like people that like those books. My real interest is hearing intelligent people speak about intelligent things they know everything about. I feel like people who read those books, they want the same things I want.
And what would that be?
Action. Any kind of action. I feel like they're just as tired of impassionate people as I am. I feel as if they worry about the same things I do about what truth is, or how we can best be good, and what that even means, or what the future holds when it seems young people's today's only worries are to either have perfect grades or they don't give a damn. Where are the people that just want to learn new things, be exposed to everything there was? What kind of woman does that make in the world? What kind of people are we letting out into the world? I feel like I can tell them things I've never told anyone before. Like how I want to write, how badly I want to be a writer. Oh my God, more than anything in the world I want to write, but I'm so terrified of finding out that I'm not any good. A total fraud.
Therese, you're a painting. You can't write.
And you can't tell them anything either. They're dead. What other clues do we have?
Oh, record player in the corner. Those flowers definitely came from the farmer's market. I think that's a Wes Anderson poster down the hall.
I need a cigarette.
What kind of coffee is that?
It's paint water.
An artist. What kind of coffee is that? Black. What's that circled
of the newspaper?
It's a review. The New York Times, I may add.
Of?
Ballet.
Ah,
Of her.
what?
Frances LePonc dances unlike anyone I've ever seen in my 30 years reviewing dance companies. No one, not in the Mariinsky or the Kirov or the Bolshoi, dances like she can. Mark my words, she'll be better than Pavlova, Olenova, Fontaine, or Copeland.
She's like Mozart, or Da Vinci, or all the other legends of their crafts. She understands her art. She dances as if it's all one thing, the dance, you, the audience, and herself. Those three components, she's like the Trinity. She makes me believe in God. Her dancing was so noticeably different than any other dancer today, but somehow it wasn't distracting. No more distracting than the dark red color of the pomegranate would distract from the sweet tartness of the fruit. It's just two parts of one thing, as inseparable from one another as air from the sky, or wind from a moving spin wheel. I will always remember the first time I saw her dance, as natural and easy as running, or sleeping.